because I'm gonna have a lot of content coming on this topic right here. Reason being is I believe this topic right here is groundbreaking. This topic right here is one of the most important topics that you could ever learn in your life, especially if you're tapped into this channel and you want to self-improve, you want to get better results in life, you want to make more money, you want to attract your wife, you want to have build your tribe, you want to have your community, you want to be able to influence, you want to be a leader, all these things. And do not take my word for it. I would want you to trust your own experience. But recently, what I have learned, for me, what I've connected the dots with, is that fashion, aka putting that shit on, is number one when it comes to universal attraction. Now, I'm not just saying for women, however, women are 50% of the planet, but this also goes for men as well. Not to say that we swing that way at all. But what I mean by attraction is that people will be attracted to you. You know, attraction is kind of like a magnetic pull. It's not to say that they're gonna make it sexual or anything like that, but your presence will be known. You will capture someone's attention. What's the first rule of marketing? Capturing someone's attention. And whether you're marketing a product, whether you're marketing yourself as a product of a man and wanting to find a wife or, you know, a business partner, we're always marketing. We should always be marketing, at least, or you're going to be a loser. And we're not losers here, so we're always marketing ourselves. You know, just stepping out the house, you're marketing yourself. Now, is that marketing giving you good or bad? That you don't know, and it depends on your target audience. But specifically, what I mean by fashion is number one for attraction is that having a high taste quality of fashion for your type of targeted demographic is the number one focus of the ego. And this is biblical. This goes to the Bible. And I got this from Ye. Shout out Ye. He said, when he did an interview on the Breakfast Club, I was listening. He said, when Adam bit the apple, and Eve gave Adam the apple and he ate it, at that moment it became illegal to be naked. I'm just giving people a better way to follow the law. So if we think about what we know about psychology, attraction, the world, God, Satan, then we can assume that what happened at that moment, because a lot of people say that when Adam bit the fruit, that's when the ego got created. So like basically, you know, they became self-conscious. They became, you know, looking at their self and their actions and starting to judge themselves based on those actions, right? And the first thing they did, the first thought they had was to go put fig leaves on. It was to go cover their bodies. I know I'm not wearing clothes in this video, so it's kind of different. But, you know, it's illegal to be naked, right? They went to go cover themselves. So really, as human beings, the number one focus of our ego is making sure that we're dressed well. Not even dressed well, but like making sure that we're dressed. And then over time, it developed into, you know, what type of clothing fits into what type of tribe and what's considered higher status within that tribe based on your fashion. This is where you get kings wearing certain garments and certain fabrics and jewelry and all these things, you know, that used to signify your status within the tribe. So if status and like all that is, again, very important to influence and leadership and the things that we want to have the ability to have better experiences in our life, then the number one factor that can increase your status, increase your influence, increase your ability to lead is putting that shit on. Now I want you to take it from your own life. What's the number one thing that you would focus on when you have to go back to school the next year, then you go back to your tribe? Back to school shopping. Oh, let me go back to school shopping. Why did Kanye become number one rapper? He said in the documentary I'm watching Genius right now, he said, I knew I wasn't gonna be the best rapper like Jay-Z. I knew I wasn't gonna do this. I knew I wasn't gonna do this. But I'm gonna be the best dressed rapper. And then that blew him up to #1. How do people remember Kanye? Pink polos and backpacks. I had my business partner, he went to a conference in Miami 2 weeks ago, and he said he met the founder of AutoZone. And the reason why he came up to him was he said he met the founder on day 2. He said the founder came up, introduced himself, and said, "Hey, day 1." He said, "Day 1, I really liked your suit. I thought, man, I saw you yesterday. I thought, man, that's a really nice suit. I really like his suit. It's not doing too much, but it's a good fit for the vibe. High taste level." He acknowledged his taste level. Second day, he liked the suit again. He said, "Hey, and now I like your suit again. I had to come introduce myself. Like, where did you get the suit?" This is the founder of AutoZone. The brother also described how nobody else in that mastermind was dressed like he was and wasn't getting the attention that he was, even though he wasn't on the same level of status as the other people in the room. You know, there was people with more money, there was people with bigger followings, but in the room, in the tribe, within the environment, most people were attracted to him, or he was able to have some type of influence or some type of power in the room due to what he was wearing. And what do people confuse the #1 thing of attraction? Some people will say it's money. Some people will say it's physical looks, like your physical body. Some people will say it's height. Some people will say it's charisma or confidence or the way that you speak or game. Some people will say it's the car or the clothes or the crib that you drive in. Not the clothes. Crib. So some people say all these things. They'll say it's money. They'll say it's charisma. They'll say it's the height. They'll say it's the physical body. They'll say it's all these things. But I will argue, #1 is putting that shit on. Another instance that you could think about. Think back in high school. Who got the most girls in the school? Like, it was kind of like, not to brag, but it was like me and my group of friends. But was we all the same? Like, was we all the same type of personality? Was we all the same height? Was we all on a basketball team and like star players? Was we all on the football team star players? Like, no, I played basketball. One of the homies played basketball and football. Well, everybody else played football pretty much. I didn't play football. Some was smart. Some was crash outs. Some was this, some was that. So, like, everybody was different, right? But what was the same was we all put that shit on. Some was funny, some wasn't. Some was this, some wasn't that. Like, it all comes down to fashion. Why did Tate Brothers really blow up? And when did they really blow up? Was it when they was making videos on the low, in the crib, just in a t-shirt? Or was it when bro started popping out with the suits? Tristan Tate started popping out with the suits. They popping out together. Now they both got suits on. Now they got like a certain stature. Plus the pictures. Plus the everything else, right? But it was really kind of the fashion. So, again, more videos coming on this topic. I really want to break it down because it's #1. If it's #1, we got to talk about it often. And I see why, there's some channels out there like Teaching Man's Fashion, right? Where his whole channel started off as like a fashion channel. Like, I get it now. I get the fashion concept. Like, I was heavily into fashion growing up, but I kind of put it on the back burner because I thought it was less important. I thought, I can make money's more important. I should just focus on money and sales skills, and I should just focus on communication skills. That's senior. Communication skills are great, but what communicates before you even speak? And actually, what's 55% of communication in general is body language. And body language is not just the way that your posture and breathing, but it's also what's on your body. Yes, top G's always dress well. James Bond, think of James Bond. It's the dress. Think of any famous movie actor. Why do they rise in status? It's because of the clothes. It's because of the outfits. Think of people that maybe have a lot of fame but don't have a lot of status, like Adam Sandler. Like, he's not really dressed nice all the time, but when he does, that's when he becomes more public. Or like, that's a bad example. I would say he's a good example of somebody who's famous but doesn't have like a lot of status. Like, a lot of people aren't attracted to Adam Sandler. But like, for example, a Leo, Leo gonna pop out in a suit. Or you may get like I don't know. I don't want to keep naming dudes, but pimps dress well too. That's a fact. That's a fact. That's a fact. Oh my God, bro. The plot thickens. The plot thickens. It's number one, bro. I want somebody to debate me on this. It's number one. Take all the other shit out the window. It's number one. Only thing that's bigger than this, because the world is both spiritual and physical. On the physical side, fashion is number one. On the spiritual side, I would argue semen retention is number one. That's a whole different video. We make a lot of videos on that topic. But if you are on semen retention and you dress nice, you'll be attractive to everybody on the planet. Simple as that. I mean, but here's the caveat about dressing nice. You dress for your demographic. You dress for your demographic. I don't think looks are number one. I mean, you could say fashion is a subset of looks. I would probably say fashion is a subset of looks. But I would say out of the subset of different factors of looks, fashion is number one. So looks could be like face. It could also be physique. It could also be fashion. It could also be skincare. It could also be your hairstyle. It could also be all these things. But like of those, it could be your height. It could be all those things. But of those, I think fashion is number one. It's always putting that shit on. So yeah, you got physical. You got spiritual. You know, semen retention, fashion. I think you're golden. Oh, that's what I was saying. You have to dress for your demographic. For example, me, I'm going for a mix of. I didn't mean to do a highlight. Whatever. I'm going for a mix of high fashion, old money style, and streetwear. Reason being, I want to attract people with money, rich people, specifically rich men I could do business with. Pause. And I want to attract. It's gonna keep it a being, young, beautiful, light-skinned black women. And what do they like? The streetwear look. That's the environment I grew up in too. So you know, it's not like it's inauthentic. It's just, to me, rational thinking. You know, I mean, as a man, bro, we can't be just off of feelings. Like, what feels right? Oh, I just want to dress like a bum because I feel like it. Like, bro, like, don't we want better results? Like, shouldn't our life just be about getting better results? And like, if we want better results, we just gotta play the game and we just gotta like connect the dots. So I'm gonna just set the game up in my favor. You feel me? And I also want to attract godly women and godly men and business partners. So I'm gonna wear a lot of God merch and tap into Christian brands and brands that speak that. You know, I had to, you know, like Kanye and the Jesus is King and the whole line. So like, basically, it's just a manifesto. This is just groundbreaking. You know, the whole self-improvement community, they don't talk about this too much. They're gonna tell you get your money. They're gonna tell you hit the gym. First thing they say when they say looks, they always say hit the gym. But that's wrong. It's not that. First thing with looks is get your drip up. Like, bro, this was a revelation for me yesterday. But just connect the dots in your own life. Like, I'm trusting whoever's rewatching this video or watching it live right now. I'm trusting you're connecting all the various dots in your life of like, wow, it really has always been fashion. You think about NBA players. What got popular? League fits. Coming through the tunnel. Let me take pictures of your fits. You think about how Instagram started. Instagram started with like fit pics. What's the number one brand in the world? LVMH, the number one holding brand in the world for luxury goods. I want to say they do more. I want to say Bernard Arnault is richer than Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk as of like this year. You know, they reinvest more. But I think Bernard Arnault has more money. Bernard Arnault is the founder of LVMH. So luxury goods. So, if you want great results in life, focus on your fashion. So it's like this. It's like a marketing funnel, right? This is heavy. This is heavy game. Heavy game. Heavy game. Heavy game. Result. We want to, you know, you're selling yourself as a product. I'm the product. Who's my target demographic? And in what environment? What's my outcome? What's my outcome? I want to attract. If I'm not going to like a business conference, I'm not in an environment of like businessmen, and I'm just on my everyday, I want to attract my wife. And then once I'm looking for money, I'm going to put on that type of stuff, right? But I'm going to play both because it's two different looks, depending on what you want. And depending on the environment. So it's like, it's a lot of different factors, right? It's like you have your target demographic, but then you also have the occasion. Like, for example, if the occasion's church and my target demographic is a certain woman at church, then I may dress like that. And let's not say that we don't want to meet people at church. Let's not say we could say that we're going to dress for the Lord, but what does that even really mean? Like, if we were really dressing for the Lord, we'll probably be naked. Mic drop. Anyway, so we have to recognize that we do dress for other people, and you should just be mindful of that. So church is a good example. Grocery shopping, I may want to have a certain aesthetic. The gym, I may want to have a certain aesthetic. Just running my day-to-day errands. The mall, I want to have a certain aesthetic. If I go out at night and I go to an event or a mixer or networking or something like that, I want to have a certain aesthetic. So I'm always thinking of the event and then who's my target demographic and how can I put that shit on? Putting that shit on, that's going to have to be your own study. Maybe we'll get more into that and what the layers are, because I'm going to study it like a boy. When I find out something's important, I'm down the rabbit hole. And I just connected the dots yesterday that this is very, very important. Like before when I was doing it, I didn't even know it was important. I just liked it. Now I know I like it and it's important. It's about to get scary. We're about to really start putting it on again. All praise to the Most High. I mean, I needed this insight, or I wouldn't have did it because I didn't think it was important. I thought it was like 5, 6. I thought like, let me get my money, let me get the physique, let me get the job, let me get the car, let me get all this stuff first, and then I can focus on fashion. Fashion don't really matter. You just gotta put that shit on, get you a chain or something. Like, no, bro. Fashion's number one. So, yeah, that's pretty much those two examples. Yeah, marketing funnel. You want to dress for your target demographic, and you want to know who that is. And the first rule of marketing is getting someone's attention. And the first way you get your attention is what you have on. Now, once you got the attention, now you can run a play. But pretty much, game is just being normal, being yourself, and not caring too much. So that's not really too much insight. Like, these dudes got whole books on like how to talk to girls, when all you gotta do is put that shit on and hop on team retention. Like, bruh, I'm so glad I'm gonna make the game so simple. Put that shit on, hop on semen retention, and you be good. Put that shit on, will do a lot of heavy lifting. Semen retention by itself will do a lot of heavy lifting. If you do them together, you're OP. And that's just for one, let's call it skill, for lack of a better word. That's just one skill in life, attraction, right? Like, I don't want y'all to think, like, when I talk about topics, I'm saying, like, this is the only thing in life. Like, oh, nigga, go get your money up, too. Like, go get that better car. Go get the better crib. Go become more capable as a fighter. Go hit the gym. Go become stronger. Gain more endurance. Learn how to communicate. Learn how to sell. Work on your social skills. Become more loving. Pray. Go to church. Do the soul healing work. All that's very important. I'm not saying all the various facets of a man, but I am saying, from my understanding right now, on this physical plane, the most important aspect to the ego of a human being, the deepest level of the psychology down to the Bible of backing it up, is what clothes someone has on, what they have on their body. It's what we're most self-conscious about. What Kanye said in the College Dropout, he said, I'm so self-conscious. That's why you always see me with at least one of my watches. Rollies and Pashas done drove me crazy. I can't even pronounce nothing past that Versace. And I spent $400 on this just to be like, nigga, you ain't up on this. And I can't even go to the grocery store without some ones that's clean and a shirt with a team. It seemed we live in the American dream. The people highest up got the lowest self-esteem. The prettiest people do the ugliest things for the road to riches and diamond rings. We shine because they hate us, floss because they degrade us. So that whole verse is about clothes. Bro's kind of whole career has been about clothes, and he's went to the top with that as a concept. And not only is it the key to attraction on the way up, but it's the key to where you fell off too. Now this is probably where the video just got good. If you watch this far, you're a real one. You should be rewarded in life with the better things. So if you observe everybody that's ever fell off, ever, it probably came when they stopped putting that shit on. Examine your own life. When did you get the best results? When you were dressing the nicest. When did you get the worst results? When you weren't putting that shit on. Am I right or am I right? Am I right or am I right? Because I know I'm right. I mean, I've connected too many dots. Like, it's the whole world. It's the whole... So many... I mean, you go to every culture, every city, every... It's so ingrained in human psyche, fashion. It's crazy. It's crazy. So... Yeah, it runs deep. It runs deep. It runs deep. That's it. Oh yeah, at least to your downfall. um, yeah. When did Jay-Z stop becoming popular? When that nigga started dressing weird. When did everybody fall off? I mean, just like think about people who fell off. Like you can't even think about people who fell off because they fell off. They stopped evolving with the fashion. Fashion, 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 fashion. Any questions about the fashion? One viewer. Any question about your own personal fashion? All right. Well, that's it. 21-minute huddle. Groundbreaking. Boom, boom, boom. Boop, boop, boop. Sound alarm. Yo. Breaking news. Breaking news. Breaking news. Breaking news. It's all about putting that shit on. It's all about putting that shit on. Put that shit on every day like your life depends on it, because it damn near does. Your potential is definitely directly correlated to the level at which you put that shit on. Don't take the message lightly, nigga. Let's go.